All right, I am at the trailer shop. The caliper broke. It's not there right now. One of these brackets, caliper brackets, I don't know if it loosened up or if it just, I don't know what, it broke off. So the caliper broke, and that broke the brake line, right? So that was my problem. I needed a caliper and I needed a brake line replaced. And I needed brake pads. It was almost time for brake pads. Okay, fine. So that's all I needed. We start pulling off all the other tires. I'm like, well, we pulled these ones off. Let's pull the other ones off and check everything, right? So we come to the driver's side, rear axle. Tony pulls off the tires on this driver's side, rear axle. And remember, I had to put on the spare, okay? This is the spare with the black rim because I bought it after I bought the trailer. So it doesn't match. So that's why I know it's this one. Now, when the guy put this spare tire on in El Paso, I think he could tell it didn't fit. The center bore, turns out we found out the center bore is actually slightly larger than what it should be. Now look at this tire. This tire was on the outside. This tire was on the inside. Look at this. Look at how it wore. It wore these huge holes. Okay? It's supposed to look like this, right? Round. Look at how much it wore from El Paso to Los Angeles. And this tire was on the inside, so I didn't see it, didn't feel it, nothing. This tire was on the outside. Now let's go look at the drum, the hub, whatever. Look at this, you guys. Look at that wear. Each one of these studs is damn near busted off. Look at that. So what happened, right? What caused that wear? Well, that's what I'm doing this video for. I'm always telling you guys, trust nobody, trust nobody. And even something so simple as buying a spare freaking rim and tire because you want to be safe, because you don't want to be running around with no freaking spare. Well, I shouldn't have even trusted the shop that sold me the tire, because they sold me a center bore that was slightly larger than all my other tires. So why am I telling you this, right? I'm telling you this because all I needed was a brake line and a caliper and some brake fluid, right? That's all I needed. And the brake pad on that passenger side rear. Well, as a result of having the wrong size wheel on my spare and driving from El Paso to Los Angeles and not knowing that it was the wrong size, I now need a new drum, a new rotor or hub, another caliper bracket, brake pad, a new brake line because that one's leaking as well due to the pressure. That's probably from the Band-Aid that I put on in Arizona to get me over here. So I'll take the blame on that one. But I'm telling you guys this because if I would have gone another day or just said F it and reloaded the trailer and start heading back to Texas like I really need to, I could have completely worn down the studs on that hub, and my dual tires on that rear axle driver's side would have flown off the trailer. Okay? And because I'm a commercial driver driving in California or even Arizona, where it's usually two lanes, right, on the 10, since those tires were on the driver's side, what would have happened, you guys? They would have flown off at a very high rate of speed with a lot of power behind them, and they're very heavy, 14 ply, 16 inch, whatever. They would have flown off and they would have flown into somebody else's car. Could have caused a wreck. I could have spun out of control. It could have caused somebody to die is what it could have caused. So it's a huge, huge, huge problem. And not only that, because the guy in El Paso, he either didn't notice it or he just threw it on there thinking I should know what I have, which he would be right if he said that. That simple mistake has changed my repair here from just needing one caliper and like a brake pad and a brake line to almost having to rebuild the entire side of the rear axle on the driver's side for this trailer. So it has really increased what I have to spend right now in order to get back on the road. And not only that, you guys, I unloaded on Monday. It's now Wednesday afternoon. I spent the entire day yesterday. I went to about 7 shops locally. Nobody has the parts I need. And I went to 3 more shops this morning. Nobody has the parts I need. I'm stuck here in California. I'm super grounded because I can't do anything with this. So it's a huge safety hazard, what I just went through. And that's why I'm sharing this with you guys. Know what you have on your trailer. Even something as simple as buying a spare tire, make sure it's the right spare and they put the right tire on the spare, because shops go fast. Like it's stressful, it's stressful being out and not able to find the parts and not being close to home either. I'm grateful I made it here. You know, at least I know the mechanics here, and but I don't think I'm going to be able to find the parts. So you know, and I have other loads pending for next week, waiting for me back in Texas. So it's like, what can you do? You know, what am I supposed to do? It's a very stressful, very disheartening, very unfortunate. You can't trust nobody these days, and it's so unfortunate. It's like I try to do such a good job, and I try to be so proactive with my maintenance, and it's just it's really tough. It can be really tough sometimes, you guys. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know what I end up doing, what ends up happening here. I'm upset with the whole situation, of course, but long story short, I'll give you a quick little update. What I ended up doing, I had a lot of options, right? So the nice thing about being your own boss is, you know, you weigh out your options and you do whatever you think is best, right? So I had a lot of options. I could have done a lot of different things. I have the other truck and trailer at the house in Texas. Rick, Hotshot was not the ideal route for Rick. So Rick is done. He did one run and he's done. Now I have the other truck and trailer, right? I got the Delco sitting at home. So I'm like, well, whatever, you know. So what I ended up doing, you guys, is I spoke to my mechanic, Andy. Again, big shout out to you, Andy. Andy helped me verify that the parts that I found on eTrailer, or that he helped me find, really, he found for me and sent them to me, and then I'm like, oh, okay. So we verified that the parts on eTrailer.com that I was able to find were in fact the correct parts for the PJ trailer. So the axle is pretty much going to be completely rebuilt once Tony is done with it. But the unfortunate thing with eTrailer is, even if you do expedited shipping, it's still going to take a minimum of 3 business days. And I unloaded the PJ on Monday morning, midday, and Tony had diagnosed my trailer by Monday afternoon. I spent all of Tuesday and Wednesday searching for parts. I wanted to find parts, physically find the parts, because I knew it was going to expedite the repair, obviously, right? If you don't have to wait for shipping, then you're going to get your trailer fixed faster and you're going to get it back on the road. But that was not what I was not able to find them in person anywhere. So what Tony and I ended up doing is, Andy and I found the parts online. I've already ordered them. It's going to be, well, it was almost $3,000 worth of parts, and who knows what Tony's going to charge me to get them all installed. But everything will be rebuilt. New brake lines, new bearings, new seals, new brake pads, everything is going to be replaced, because I don't want to have this trailer in another shop. Ooh, my goodness, you guys. If this trailer goes to one more shop, I am going to push it down a ravine. No. I told Tony, I said, look, you know, I got a couple different options, and these are the options. And what we decided to do is I decided to leave the trailer back in California with my mechanic, and I'm drop shipping all of the parts directly to him. I decided to drive home empty, with no load, no trailer, no nothing. Yes, you guys, I looked for an RV or a bumper pull or anything that I could bring with me, just a power only load. I looked for on Central a little bit, and that's pretty much as far as I went. I got between 16.5 and 18.5 miles per gallon with no trailer. I got home within a day and a half, and next week is a new week. So because I had other things planned out already, other freight and other loads and other plans, I really had to get going. And very grateful for Tony that he was able to, hang on to my trailer. And I've already got the parts ordered. And, at this point, it's just time and money. So we'll get it fixed. I'll get it fixed, and then I'll make my way back to California at some point after this next week. And get it picked up, go from there. So you guys, what I can suggest for you is to know your trailer. Check it often. Double check if anybody is working on your trailer. Double check their work. Double check their parts. Know your part numbers. Have spare parts in your garage, so that, or in your truck, or in, somewhere, have access to those spare parts, because when your trailer goes down or you need something, it happens all the time. What I just went through happens all the time. When you need the part, you ain't gonna find it. You're not gonna find it. But if it's already in your garage, or at least you have the part numbers, where you can, get the parts, or, if you have a plan, basically is what I'm trying to say. Have a plan. Don't assume that your trailer is never gonna need maintenance, because, hello, big surprise, your trailer's always gonna need maintenance. Your truck is always gonna need maintenance, and your trailer's always going to break. Something's always going to break. It's just, it's always going to happen. So once you start doing your repairs, and once you start replacing things, know your part numbers. Keep a file on that, whether it's electronic, whatever. Know your part numbers, have access, know where you can find them, have mechanics, have people around that are available to help you, or that can steer you in the right direction when it comes to those things. And just, you know, don't assume that wherever you break down across the country that you're going to find the parts that you need, because it's certainly not the case, especially right now. So you guys be safe out there. Take care. Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm just pissed off, but it's all right. Peace. I'll talk to you later.